least my ponytail cute. Hello. I am back. At least for today. I'm back. I don't know how long I'm gonna be back, but at least for today, I am back. I am around the house today, getting some just housework done that needs to be done. And I was like, let me go live because it's been, I don't even know how long it's been since I've been live on here, but it's time. It is time. It is time. Avery started school, so she's at school right now. Carter's on his tablet. The twins are in the play area, and I got Bluey on. So it's like, while everybody is occupied, let me get on here and yap, okay? Because yapping is what I do best. Yapping is absolutely what I do best. Yes. So we gotta do, hey! Not Soraya Lachey, Chanel Scott. You know what? I welcome it. I welcome it. Soraya Lachey, Chanel. That's officially my name. When you address me as Soraya Lachey, Chanel Scott. Absolutely. That's how you should address me. So funny. Oh, I love it. I love it. Love it. So, and we'll. So funny. Is this your lunch? Are you on lunch yet? Or is it, no, it's too early to go to lunch. Are you working from home today, Kristen? Nope, my supervisor is on vacation. I hear you. I hear you. Fly you out to help with the dishes. Sir, I can't even fly myself out nowhere. Sir, I can't afford nobody plane ticket. No. Sorry. Can't help you. Cannot help you. But meanwhile, since you're talking about fly, where are you from? Thank you, Ricardo. I appreciate that. I have been telling, right, who that? Don't even know. Don't even know. But, let's see. Okay, so girl, hello. Ariana! We done graduated. No! Welcome back, everybody. Hello. I know it's been a while. Yes. Ariana, I hope your birthday was a good birthday. Your pictures. Okay, the birthday pictures. Exactly, Kristen. That's what I was about to say. Those birthday pictures were absolutely gorgeous. The brown, gold, neutral tone vibe you had going, girl, drop dead gorgeous. I was like, come on, Jim. Hello, Jim. The glow. It was perfection. Absolute perfection. Why am I yelling? You know, Ray, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know why I be on here yelling, but I do. I don't know. Culture? Just blame it on the culture? I don't know. I guess I feel like because the water running, I feel. Chris, she country, right? I guess. I feel like because the water running, y'all can't hear me, so I got to speak up over the water and the kids' toys. Okay, I don't know. Anyways, my day is going well, Ray. Thank you. How was your day going? Take my glasses off? No, I can't, Ricardo, because like these glasses are not what's it called? They're not a fashion statement. Like I need these. If I if I don't have my glasses on, I literally cannot see anything. So no, I can't take them off, Ricardo. Sorry. Blind. Hello. Well, I don't want to say blind. Cover the words, Jesus. But astigmatism be kicking my tail, okay? And I cannot see. Cannot see. There we go. Thank you, Ethan. How am I adjusting to my oldest being in kindergarten? I'm adjusting well. I really am. Let's see, I only cried the Sunday before she started school, because, that's when we go to the altar and they pray over the kids and faculty, staff, everything, before school starts. And that was the only time that I cried. Other than that, I was just like, oh, my baby, but I didn't cry, right? And Avery, she was doing really well. She was really excited, but maybe like the Friday before school started, she started to cry, and I think it really started to sink in, like, wait a minute, I'm not going to be at home with mommy, all day like like I'm used to. So she started to kind of cry and, get a little sad. And then when we dropped her off the morning of, she started crying, like before we left the classroom and everything. And so that was hard leaving her there, because a part of me was just going to be like, you know what, forget it. We'll try it again next year. Just come on, baby. You ain't got to stay here. But she, stopped crying before we actually left out. And then, by the end of the day, we picked her up. She was, back being happy and really excited again to go back the next day. So, it ended up working out. Carter has kind of had a little bit of an adjustment. I think it's been the hardest on him, because, literally his entire life, his entire 2 years on this earth, he doesn't know home without Avery, So, dropping her off at school is sometimes hard. Hey, Michela! Girl, I've been missing getting on here yapping with y'all. So, we back, at least for today. But Carter, he's been kind of struggling just a little bit. Like when we drop her off at school, he like, Avery, where's Avery? And then, when I take her to school and he stays home, he's like, where are you going? And then when I come back home, he's like, where's Avery? And I'm like, Avery's at school, we'll go pick her up. So, pick her up later. So yeah. So I feel like Carter has had the most adjustment period, but everybody is doing well. Her teacher, I talked to Avery's teacher after the first week, and, I was like, well, how is she doing? Because I was concerned about just being in a classroom setting, because she's never, been in that type of setting before. So I was more concerned about her behavior and all that kind of stuff. And she was like, oh, she's fine. She was like, she had to separate Avery and another student because the other student was being like a little class clown. And Avery just thought that was the most funniest thing. And so the teacher was like, okay, no, I got to separate y'all, because she wasn't able to teach or talk because Avery, want to hype the class clown up. So it's just, yeah, that that was funny. But her teacher said though that Avery, a lot of the girls that are in kindergarten are very shy, but Avery is very outgoing. So, Avery's biggest thing was not talking, not laughing at class clowns and things like that. But yeah, but she said she was friends with everybody, and I'm like, that's very on brand for my baby. So yeah. Leadership training. Absolutely. Wishing you well. Thank you, R. She absolutely is a superstar, baby. And she is going to command a room wherever she goes. Absolutely. I'm trying to think what else. So, okay. So within the first week of school, she was sick, which meant that everybody in my house eventually ended up sick. And it was just like, come on. Uh-oh. Look, my children. But everybody in the house ended up sick. And so it's just like trying to figure out, how to keep us healthy. Oh, thank you. Yes, baby. She has been, well, let me put a pin in that. Let me finish this and then I'll talk about what you posted, Ariana, or what you commented. So, yeah, so trying to keep, her immune system up or build it up, like that's been a whole thing, because it's like once one kid ends up sick, then all the kids end up sick, and then the parents end up sick, and then it's just like it cycles through, and then before you know it, the whole house has been sick for a whole month. It's just like, we can't do this. So we've been doing elderberry, vitamin D3, vitamin C, making sure to wash hands, wash face as soon as she comes in the door. Her pediatrician also said to have her change her clothes when she comes in, because she said that's where a lot of the germs kind of congregate, is on clothes too. So, taking clothes off, that helps the spread of things. So, like, okay. Zinc. Okay, did not think about zinc. Is that in like a gummy supplement, or is that like a liquid thing? Because I remember hearing about zinc. Let's see. Okay, that's good. Okay, and then the other thing I want to say about school is Avery, I was so concerned about, or I was so focused on like trying to combat germs, that I didn't even think about her picking up like just pop culture, references and slang and things like that. So, so a couple of weeks ago, she was playing with Carter, right? And as she's playing, she's like, "Come on, bro." And I was like, "Avery, what are you saying? What are you talking about?" And she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Bro, come on, bro." And Carter, "What's a bro?" I was like, "Avery, what are you talking about, bro? Where did you get that from? And she was like, what? I like saying bro. Come on, bro. And I was like, okay. Hey, Micah. So yeah, just picking up pop culture things too. I wasn't ready for that. It just kind of threw me off. But and there's another situation that happened yesterday that I'm not gonna share just yet. But just know, baby, it stopped me in my tracks. And I was like, okay, noted. That's crazy. Okay, let me get caught up on comments, right? I was just saying the same thing. Ariana doing exactly what we want the whole church. Yes. Okay. So Avery sang with the choir on Sunday for the very first time. She was at rehearsal. Okay, she rehearsed on Thursday, so she was able to sing on Sunday. Amen. And yeah, so I had been talking to Avery about like, how to stand and, what to do, rocking and clapping and, making sure to hold her head correctly and, just how to sing in a choir or whatever. So we've been talking about that. And, Avery is a performer. So when there's music, she wants to twirl and spin around and jump and, just do all these very expressive movements. But in my mind, I'm like, but this is like a choir setting and we don't do that, in a choir setting. So anyways, we had talked to her. I told her, this is where you're going to stand and this is, where you're going to sing. Cool, great. We start service. She's standing where she's supposed to stand with her arms down by her side, just waiting for the music to start. As soon as we sing the first note, Avery steps down, and mind you, I'm trying to sing because I'm the only soprano that day. So I'm trying to hold down soprano while also trying to keep an eye on the musician and, give hand signals and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, she steps down. I glance over. She done went and grabbed a mic and comes and stands on the other side of me. And she just singing in this mic. And I was looking at her like, I'm like, do I grab this mic? Do I stop her? What do I do? And I guess it was the Holy Ghost. And the Holy Ghost was like, Sarai, don't even worry about it. You can't manage all that at once. So I'm like, okay. So I just let her go, right? And then she started getting super expressive, right? Spinning around in circles. She wanted to walk to the edge. And I was like, so I kept pulling her back hey, sis, I know you're excited, but I need you to step back this way, right? Because we're still in service, I didn't want her to be out here doing too much. But then at some point, I felt the Holy Spirit just be like, I'm pleased with this. I'm pleased with the way that she is expressing herself, the freedom that she has. And he was just like, and the scripture came to me, about him welcoming the children to come to him. You know what I'm saying? And how the story was the disciples were like, get away from him, the children that ran up to him. And he was like, no, this is exactly how they should come to me. And this is exactly how everyone in the kingdom should come to me, as children, And so that I feel like that was just that scripture personified, in her. And so I let her go. I let her go and just let her do what she wanted to do. And it was so cute looking back on the live because I was watching her hand movements. She was doing everything she saw me do. And at some point, we were doing the same movements at the same time, without even looking at each other. We were moving in sync. And it was just wow. You know what I'm saying? It was just wow. And so I'm grateful to the Lord for the opportunity to train my children up in this way. Yeah, I am. And the thing about it is too is like some of the things that she was doing, I didn't even verbalize to her. It was just things that she observed me doing. You know what I'm saying? And so training up children isn't always about what you verbally say, but it's also about your behavior too. Like, are you giving them a good representation of what they should do? When they go out in public, and you like you're observing their behavior and all that kind of stuff, like, are they mimicking what they see? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if they're doing something bad, as a parent, you got to look within yourself and be like, do I do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you do that, then you need to change what you're doing because your children are watching and they're going to do whatever they see you doing. And so I'm grateful to the Lord as well, because I'm just like, thank you, Jesus, that I'm doing something that I have no problem with her replicating, So yeah, I know that was a long thing, but grateful for that. Absolutely grateful for that. And so this week she won't sing because this is praise team week. But next week, I guess in 2 weeks when the choir sings again, she will definitely be back up there, because when I tell you the saints loved her, the saints loved watching her, and it was beautiful. It was really, really beautiful. Let's see. Okay, let me get caught up on comments. We immediately bathe and rinse out the nose with saline spray. Yes, I have been putting Avery. So this is going back to the whole sickness germs thing. I have been putting Avery in the bathtub as soon as she gets in the door. Absolutely. And if not the bathtub, I at least make sure that she washes her hands, washes her face, and changes her clothes to try and keep those germs out of this house, Lord. They have it in many forms. Okay, cool. I will definitely look into that because I need to go to the store and restock up on our vitamins. You're back. How are you? Micah, I am doing well, okay? My life has been absolutely insane since June. Like, it's been nonstop going since June. But I'm finally at a place where things are sort of calm. So I'm able to hop back on here. Like I said, at least for today, I'm back on here. When she threw that next music cue, hello, listen. I was like, my God, like, she's really watching. And the thing about it is, she threw it at the right time. Like, if we were to go to the next part, that would have been the exact time that I would have threw that signal. Like, it was like the perfect timing. And again, I am just like, she's watching, And again, training her up in not only using her entire body to express worship, but then also just those practical song leading skills of throwing signals. Like, throwing signals is like second nature to me, but there's a lot of worship leaders out here who don't know how to throw a signal, when to throw it, the timing of it. But she's learning that as a 5-year-old, or now she's 6. So learning that as a 6-year-old, and she's been observing that all her little life. And so it's just, it's amazing. It's really amazing. And I'm really excited to see where she goes in this. Like, if she becomes a worship leader, great. But if she doesn't, that's great too. But having these skills, like, where is she going to go in music? Even if she doesn't sing, will she take this to like the piano, or will she want to do audio? You know what I'm saying? Like, just seeing where this music path takes her. Like, I'm really excited to see. She said it's time. I remember when I was younger, I was singing in the choir. And the choir members were like, children at the end. That's funny. funny. Right, like and so right now at our church, we don't have a like children's choir. So her being up there with the adults, like that's the only opportunity that we have currently. And the choir is open to all ages. So it doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, like the choir is open because we don't have a separate children's choir right now. So, but Avery is like the first kid to like take us up on that invitation, if that makes sense. So, hopefully like more children will see her and will want to, join. And maybe once we get more participation, from kids, then we can, break it off and, they have their own, their own thing. But for right now, that's what we got. And Avery, baby, she is up there doing her thing. I used to direct the choirs. Oh, that is so nice. Yeah, let's see, the first time I directed the choir, I think I was like 14, the first time I directed the children's choir. And baby, you couldn't tell my mama I was up there like I was Ricky Dillard or something. She was like, you know how to direct. I'm like, okay, Mom, first of all. No, I don't. Literally, all I'm telling them to do is sway and clap. Like, that's it. But let my mama tell it, baby. I've been directing down since I was a kid. Like, stop. No. But you know what? I am super grateful for being raised in church. I really am. So you guys know I did my grad school class. Is it Christine? Hey, Christine. I am good. How are you today? Christine, where are you from? Because the way that's spelled and the last name is very interesting. Be having a praise while directing. Is the annual Disney trip still in the plans for this year? Absolutely. Baby, listen. There was a brisk breeze. Is that what you call it? I think. But there was a breeze the other morning, and I put on my little Disney like little jacket. I went to my husband and I just stood there and I just pointed at the Mickey ears, and I was just like, it's time to go. It's time to go. We going to Disney World. Absolutely. And I'm ready like yesterday to go. Absolutely. But okay, so I was talking about grad school, right? Micah. Okay, so I was talking about grad school, and I finished my class. Hello, with an A. Come through A. Nothing but the Lord that helped me make it through that class because I was struggling. But anyways, but in the class was talking about building a balanced worship ministry from Georgia. Nice. Okay. So building a balanced worship ministry. And one of the things was talking about like children involvement in worship. And they were talking about like different things that you can do to involve children in worship. And I was just like, to me, I'm like, why do you need to talk about this? But then I realized that everybody didn't have an active like youth ministry growing up like I did. Because I remember being very active in church, right? Like, yeah, we had youth choir, but you also had praise dance, you had mime, you had speeches, you was on the junior usher board, you had the plays and the trips, and you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like youth ministry back in the day, like 90s, early 2000s, like, baby, we was doing it, okay? We were doing it. But then I guess it just kind of clicked to me. Proud Sunshine Band. Hello. Right. But that just reminds me, like, we was in the, we was playing instruments, and I mean, we were doing Sunday school, right? You had to get up and do the review at the end of the lesson. Like, we were very, very active. And I guess just having to go through that class, I was like, I guess everybody didn't have that opportunity. But we did. You know what I'm saying? We did. Girl, because public speaking, hello, hated it. I did not want to get up and talk in front of people. But the review, but that was good though, because that gave us our very first experience in public speaking. You know what I'm saying? That reminds me, we was probably serving in the fellowship hall. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were active, but everybody didn't have that, which is wild to me. But anyways, that's where anxiety. Right, my first experience with anxiety was having to get up and talk in front of the church. What is this feeling that I'm feeling? Anxiety. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. But that is so true. Like, the very first place that I remember feeling anxious and nervous was in the church. Definitely serving the roles, serving the pastor's table at anniversary. Yes. Well, you could at least take the drinks. Here, take this drink over to the pastor's table. Absolutely. That is so funny. Mix and punch and Sprite. Mixing the punch and the Sprite. And you had to add the little sherbet in there, the little orange sherbet, or the lime green sherbet. Absolutely. My first Christmas play, I was a gift and forgot. I'm sorry, I should not have laughed at that. You were a gift and forgot your lines. Bless your heart. A gift, like a present? Y'all are funny. Bless your heart. Oh. I'm pretty sure we all have some horror stories from when we had to be in them plays as kids. Jesus. Monday night prayer, Tuesday's choir rehearsal, Wednesday Bible study, Friday night. Woo! Revival. See? Let's see. We had, so Sunday was church. Monday was prayer. Tuesday was like mission and brotherhood meeting. And then Wednesday was Bible study. Thursday was choir rehearsal. Friday, I don't think we had anything. Saturday was the youth meeting day. So that's when youth would have like our Bible study or our like choir rehearsal or whatever. And then the week would start all over again. So we really only had like Friday like off, which is so wild to think about, that we would literally be at church all week. That is wild to think about. Sunday all day church, right? Because you had Sunday school at 9:30. You had actual service at 11. You go get something to eat, and then you got a 3:30 program somewhere that's gonna last till at least 5:36. And then you and then depending on, what denomination, then you had, your evening service at 6:30 or 7. Like, wild. Tuesday prayer, Friday YPWW and Bible band, Friday night service, Saturday rehearsal, Sunday 3 minimum 30. Y'all, like, I could not find the ladies selling dinners. Period. And them dinners be good. And it used to be like $8 for like some chicken, 2 sides, a roll, a drink, and a dessert would be like $8. And the drink would be like a Mr. Pibb, or the Shasta sodas, okay? I don't know, is it like the cream Shasta sodas? Oh, that used to be my favorite. Oh, used to be my favorite. A church dinner sound fire right now. Hello, y'all got brand sodas. What did you get, Kristen? What brand did you get? Making me hungry. Oh, sorry, saints. But I do I miss them church dinners. I really do. So the church that I grew up in back home, they still I mean, they don't do it, every week, but like they still have like those types of dinners, and they still have, the fellowship hall. And I mean, it's so nostalgic. It really is. And I think like knee high, I've never even heard of that. Where do you buy knee high from? Dr. Thunder. They were good times, Ariana. They really were. And I think, the food was something that brought us together, but it was the fellowship, like the camaraderie, the friendships, and the relationships that were birthed out of those times, is what made those, those days, just so impactful. You know what I'm saying? And so fun. I remember as a kid, once you finished eating, throw your plate away, and then we would be outside running, chasing each other, playing tag. It was just fun and just carefree time. Oh, it was so good. Going to church was the only time I was able to see my friends. All I had growing up was church friends. Oh, knee-high peach is better than a vet. I have never heard of knee-high. Where do y'all get that from? Only church. Let's see. Okay. I just feel like dishes are never ending. Why I'm so churchy? Because that's all I was allowed to do and be as a kid. What else am I supposed to do? Okay. Born in. That part right there. We was born into this. And it's and as much as our parents quoted, train up a child, so when you get old, you won't depart from it. It's and now that we're old, we have not departed. You know what I'm saying? So it makes sense. It totally makes sense that we are church kids and churchy, and that's how we default. Deep, okay? And now we're raising our kids in the exact same thing, which is exactly what's supposed to happen, That's exactly what's supposed to happen. So I love it. I would not trade my upbringing and just my life for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Thought it was just me. So these favorite chore, the dishes. Yes. Because it's just never ending. It's you think you're all done. You let the water out. And then you turn around and there's 3 pots still left on the, the stove. Come on, man. Oh. Hi, Sadie. Thank you. I believe church saved my life. I could have been many other places. Church was safe. Hey! Yes! I hear you. Where's the trek? Okay, we need a trek to come on here, because I could have been many other places. Hey, glory. But the church was safe. Yes! We got testimony. We got testimony service happening right here on the live. Or a cup or a spoon, absolutely. Pastor must be, he is. He is at work, so we have no track. But there is a track somewhere. I feel it in my shondo. Going back to all glassware. Oh, yeah. Well, for plates and bowls and things like that, I do. I have the white, well, I don't know what you call it, but the real dishes and stuff. I definitely have that because in the long run for me, it saved me money instead of doing like the paper, and having to replace that and throw that away. Just, yeah. Anyways. But thank God for a dishwasher. Hello. I hear the drums, Kristen. I hear them. Crank up the keyboard, Ariana. Absolutely. Look, where's the tambourine? Somebody gave us a little baby tambourine. Baby, I be in this house tearing that up to the best of my ability because I really don't know what I'm doing that well. But I be around here beating and stomping as best as I can. Woo! Show enough. Show enough. Let's see. Okay. Whew. Just tearing it up. Just tearing it up. I know. What's for lunch? Okay. So for lunch, it's probably going to be some pulled pork. So this weekend, we went to a friend's birthday party and they had pulled pork. And when I tell y'all, this pulled pork is some of the best pulled pork I have ever had. Like, it don't even need any sauce. Like, that's how good this pulled pork is. And when I tell you I've been tearing it up yesterday for the school drop pickup line, I packed me a pulled pork sandwich and I made me some fries before we went. I had me a little ketchup packet and I was having a time eating in that school pickup line. Baby, so good. So anyway, but I think pulled pork is what I'm going to do again. People think church is just a building or religious organization, but inside the church is the presence of the Almighty God. Hello. Hello. That's something I would do. Yeah, girl. I be packing my lunches up. I've also started rewatching How to Get Away with Murder and Scandal. So one of my favorite things to do is get into that school or like drop off line early, have my little snack, and turn on an episode and watch that while I wait for Avery to come out. Baby, I have a time. A time. I watch them. So Tubi, yes, Tubi, and Tubi is free. So I downloaded the app Tubi onto my phone, and of course you got to do ads, but it's free to download and to watch. And I watch How to Get Away with Murder on there. I think you can watch Scandal on there too, but we have Disney Plus. So I just watch Scandal through Disney Plus, but I watch How to Get Away with Murder through Tubi. Yep, that's what I do. And it has been, when I tell you, a roller coaster. I'm like, I was in high school. I was in high school when these shows like first came out. No. Kristen, it's the real show. It's not no like backwoods no stuff. It's not ghetto, I promise. It's the real show. But yeah, like watching this stuff as a high school kid, I'm like, I had no business watching Scandal and How to Get Away with Murder as a high schooler. Absolutely not. I mean, it is just, when I tell you it's a lot that be going on, it is so much. So much. But anyways, let's see. I know, Kristen. I know. I'm a baby. I know. But I was thinking about that. Like, making friends as an adult is really funny because I never think to ask my friends, like in our adulthood, like how old they are. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when people finally tell me how old they are, I'm like, really? I never would have thought that. Because I just don't think about it. Like, that's just my friend. It's, like, that's just my friend. I never think about how old people are. I get that out your mouth. Out your mouth. Nasty. Out. Take it out. Thank you. Nasty. Right. Don't put that in your mouth, please. Thank you. Right. That's just my friend. You just never think about it. Let's see. Okay. Aw, man. Okay. Whole time the person is 86. That is funny. Yeah, I find myself making friends now based on season of life, if that makes sense. Like, if we're in the same season of life, we're kind of doing the same thing, then I have found that that's where, or like that's how the majority of my friendships have started to form in my adulthood. It's not even about proximity anymore. It's about just, this is the season of life that we're in. Because proximity wise, as a stay-at-home mom, I don't really have anybody that's close. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I have a coworker to be friends with and where we connect is work. I'm at home. I'm a mom. So it's like a lot of my friends, I don't even like physically get to hang out with. It's more so like we connect through social media or text message or phone call or FaceTime, things like that. But because that's just the season of life that we are in. It's crazy. It's ghetto for me. But you're still trying. Aw. That's good, Micah. Michaela, how is your job going? As I saw a couple of, girl, it's probably been a couple of months ago now. It was something with like life insurance. So tell us about that. Oh. Okay, let's close this door, sisters. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's see. Meanwhile, I was like, ooh, I think I want to go live today. So I have my handy dandy notebook of things, and I was like, ooh, I want to talk about this. So we talked about grad school. Wonderful. We talked about school for Avery. Great. Okay. We will see where we go from here. It's going pretty good. It's basically I plan my own schedule and go forth. So I've been going off referrals right now. I actually had an appointment yesterday. Nice, nice. So did you have to go through like some sort of like classes, certification process? And how did you even get to selling life insurance? Because I think like you were in education at one point. So how did we switch to life insurance? Okay. And while you tell us that, I am going to start folding some laundry. Uh-oh. Let's see. Here we go. Meanwhile, you guys know that well, you might not know, but if you watch my vlogs, then you saw, hopefully, that I had started going like for walks every morning. And I had started doing like interval training where I had started trying to work my way up to actually running like, you know, a distance or whatever. And all of that was going great. And then I just kind of fell off. And I can't even remember exactly why I ended up falling off. I don't know if it was just trying to get Avery ready for school, because that was a whole thing. Or if it was stress from, you know, trying to finish up grad school. I don't know if it was that. I don't know what it was, but some reason, somehow I fell off, and I have not been going for a walk or anything. And I'm just like, I'm not getting skinny no time soon. Okay. I'm not losing this stomach no time soon. I keep going to 7 Brew, and I am just like, it's just not working. It's just not working. A guy from my church introduced me, and I had a 2-week turnaround to get my license passed. On my birthday on the first time. Congratulations! And you had to go to a sales training and a C to be able to get out by myself. I started this because I want to be home with Kyrie, so I'm able to work with him. Nice! That is so nice. No, don't touch mommy's phone. No, you can't have mommy's phone. No, you may not have mommy's phone. You're fine. No, you may not have mommy's phone. Thank you. No, you can't have mommy's phone. No. You're fine. You can't have that either. No. Yeah, no. You can't have none of that. That's mine. Silly girl. Yeah. You see yourself? Is that Riley? Is that Riley Reese? Trying to get my drink. No, you may not have my drink. No. And loving the moment, things will change how you desire when the time is right. It's barrier insurance, so I get to still teach people because a lot of people never heard of it. Oh, nice, nice, nice. Yeah. I love that. I love that you're still getting to teach. You know, in this new venture. So that's good. That's exciting. Embracing where you are. That's huge. And that, I feel like that's applicable in just so many different areas of life, like being a stay-at-home mom, or doing, you know, pivoting and adding, you know, a new job, or just with weight loss with me trying to get skinny. Like, this is where I am, and one step at a time, it's going to change. One step at a time. And I will say that because I know 7 Brew is like a lot of sugar, right? And I'm not doing sugar-free because sugar-free is nasty. But instead of getting larges, I've been getting smalls or mediums, you know? So I'm like I'm trying, right? I'm trying to make better decisions. I really am. I really am. What are you doing? What are you doing? Weren't you playing? Balance. Hello. Thank you. Uh-oh. You okay? Okay. I'm like, she was doing so good. Right. Playing in the other room. And then then as soon as I leave, there she goes. What? You see yourself? Do you see yourself? Yeah. That's Riley Reese. Yeah, that's Riley Reese. Yes. Silly girl. Uh-huh. She keeps pointing at herself. Touching the phone. What are you doing? Thank you. Yes, they have grown up so much. They are 1 now. They turned 1 on August 19th. They turned 1. But we just had their birthday party this past weekend, which was really fun. We actually ended up doing a combined birthday party with Avery because she turned 6 on Monday. And then the twins, of course, turned 1 in August. And so we did a combined Scott Girls. That's what we called it, the Scott Girls birthday party. This past weekend to celebrate. And it was really fun. And we are slowly going through all the presents. It's been, listen, when I tell you, these kids are so loved and taken care of. It is humbling and it is beautiful to see how loved these kids are. Because, man, when I tell you, the gifts are just overflowing. It's wild. But it's a blessing. It is such a blessing. And so we were, Riley. So my husband and I, we were just like, you know, like we like this combined birthday party approach. But then at the same time, it's just like, okay, this is going to get, you know, expensive for people to, you know, give gifts to all 3 each time. And so we decided like maybe next year will be like gifts optional or no gifts at all. Because that's a lot. And it's really more so, like, it's not even about the gifts. It's about, like, you know, the presence of people. And honestly, like, presence, like physical presence, right, means more to me than, like, gift presents. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'd rather people just come, have a good time, celebrate, and don't even worry about no gifts. You know what I mean? Can you not? Girl, you touching his phone and you just, no. All right, if this phone cut off or somebody gets accidentally blocked, it's because of Riley Reese, okay? She keeps touching this phone and just doing the most. Yeah. All right, so like I said, I have my handy dandy notebook, and I was like, I want to get on live and I want to talk about blah, 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 blah. So let's start at the top of the list of what I want to talk about. Number one, I'm sick of social media. Okay, I am so sick of like how loud social media is. You know, like every time something happens in like pop culture, everybody has a think piece. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody, just got something to say. And it's just like, it's too loud at times. And I just be like, I can't deal. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially when something happens in the Black church world. Oh my gosh. It's like you can't open up any app. You cannot open up any app and escape the conversations because it's on every app. You know what I'm saying? Like the same clip, the same people, talking about the same thing. And it's just like you just cannot escape it. And it's just too much some days for me or some weeks for me. And I'm just like, oh. Okay, I'm back. Riley Reese, stop. Stop it, Riley Reese. You know what you're doing. Stop it. But yeah, it's just way too much. Okay, so let's, and I have been tried to go to Threads, yes, to escape it. And for a while, Threads was a safe place. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could go to Threads and it wasn't messy. It wasn't oversaturated, like, with the topics. But I'm finding that it's starting to get that way. And I'm just like, Threads was the last hope, literally hanging on by a thread. Like, it was the last hope of trying to keep just some peace somewhere, right? That's why I've been limiting my time on it. Pop in, check on family and friends, and hop off. Yeah. I just started blocking folks at this point. I don't care how well I know. Ariana. Everybody getting blocked. Rated E for everyone. That is so funny. Okay, so, but and I have purposely been avoiding watching like the videos that everybody keeps referencing. I have purposely been avoiding watching them. I've had some people that have like commented on some videos and been like, hey, what do you think about? And I'm just like, I think nothing. I'm not thinking anything, okay? I ain't got it. And I mean, let's be honest. Do I have an opinion? Yes. Do I have thoughts? Yes. But do I feel like sharing them? No. Because it would just be adding to the noise. The same noise that I'm trying to escape from, I'm about to add to it. Like, I can't. No. Absolutely not. No. And it's like, and people don't listen to really understand, or people don't share to really like contribute to the conversation. Like, people are just talking to talk. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody just wants to have a voice. Everybody just wants to say something. And I've just kind of, realized like, or I've started to question like, when I do share things or when I do talk about things, I'm like, what is my end goal? Is my end goal that somebody would hear me and would agree? Is my end goal that I would change somebody's mind? Is my end goal that I just want to contribute to the conversation? Like, what is really the end goal with me sharing whatever it is that I'm sharing? Or is it just, I just want to share just because I just want to talk? Like what is the end goal here? And for me personally, I'm just like, I'm not trying to change nobody's mind. I don't really care if people know what I think. I don't even really feel like I need to say anything because everything already been said. So that I just been quiet. I just been quiet. I just have not said nothing. I'm just like, y'all go ahead. Y'all do that. And yeah, I'm just like, it's just too much. And then even outside of Black church culture, just the conspiracy theories. Like TikTok is full of like conspiracy theories and full of like growth strategies and just it is just too much. It's just way too much. And I'm tired. Like literally my brain is just so overwhelmed with just all the noise. It's just way too much. So I just been I don't even know. I've just been here. You know what I'm saying? Like I scroll, but honestly, I couldn't even tell you like what I've been seeing. I just be scrolling just to mindlessly scroll and like disassociate from whatever's going on. I don't know. For TikTok, I go through once a month at minimum and clear my search and watch history. You can do that? I did not know that you could clear your search and watch history. How do you do that, Kristen? That is so good. I need to do that. Because the way the algorithm, and it's like once you watch one thing, then the algorithm thinks that that's what you want to see all the time. And it's like, I don't want to see this every day. I don't want to hear nothing else about this particular person or that particular situation. Just leave me alone. I will also say that I am like sick of those. Recently ordered some coloring books and Sudoku books. Oh, yes. Things that occupy my time instead of being on social media. That is so good. I like to get word search books from the Dollar Tree. And they have like the large ones. So you ain't even got to squint to see the letters. So good. I love that. I also started reading a book by, what's her name? Stacey Abrams. It's her latest book called Coded Justice. And it's about like this AI company and somebody ends up murdered and they don't know if the AI machine did it or if it was an actual person who did it. So I started reading that. I also started reading a book on the gift of discernment too. So yeah, I feel that like doing things to occupy your time and give your brain a break that's not social media is so good. A Sudoku app on your phone? Yes! Yes. I love it. Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you, Riley Reese. And I would also say, too, like, when it comes to social media, like, girl, stop, please. No, Riley, stop. Right, Riley is on this phone, baby, tearing it up. So, also when it comes to social media, like, you guys know, like, I've been wanting to, like, get monetized and, you know, all the things, because I got goals for that money, right? I want to save it up so we can have our vow renewal. And, but I've just gotten really tired too, because it's like, oh, okay. Because like sometimes it's like I do all this work and it feels like there's like no return on it, you know? And then it's like you listen to the experts of what you're supposed to do to grow, you know, your following and get to monetization and all the things. And it's just like, it's so much. It is so much. And I'm just like, I don't have the energy to do all that. Like the posting every day, the niching down. Like, I don't want to niche down. I don't want to just talk about one thing on social media. I want to talk about whatever comes to my mind on social media, you know? Like, and it's so frustrating sometimes. Because like I want to grow, I want to get to monetization, but it's like I don't have, okay, now they're both here. I don't have the energy to, or I guess maybe I just don't have the willpower to niche down and only talk about one thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I wonder, and I think there's a way that you can do it. Like, I know some people would be like, well, just create multiple pages where you talk about one thing on each page. Absolutely not. Because who is managing like 5 different pages? It's not me. It is not me. You tink tink. You tinky tink. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Yeah, let's go change a diaper because you tink tink. Yeah, you tinky tink. Yeah, let's go change your diaper. A mother's job is never done. I'm like a kid with games on my phone. Word search. No! Look, she almost ended the stream. I got back into reading as well. It took me a month to finish my first book, but we got through it. Yeah. I want to be me. Don't put me in a box. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's why, like, on TikTok, if you follow me on TikTok, I've been doing, like, random car thoughts. Hey. Meanwhile, I did not know that you could zoom in on this here live like that. My babies just unintentionally discovered that. That is so funny. Okay. Come on, let's go. So we can change you. But yeah, absolutely. Like don't put me in a box. And I'm just like, I'm trying not to put my own stuff in a box, you know? Cause I'm gonna talk about whatever. But like I was saying, so on TikTok, I have been doing, trying to figure out where to put this phone. I have been doing like random car thoughts because I'm just like, I'm not niching down to just worship or just lifestyle content or just stay-at-home mom content. Like, no, I don't want to do that. That's boring. I want to do and post whatever I want to post. And people are like, oh, well, your audience will find you. And I'm like, okay, where's the audience? Hello, are you guys there? It's so much. It is so much, but I'm just like, I'm gonna keep showing up. And I think that's part of it too, like just showing up. And so me doing this live, like this is me showing up. I missed you guys too, though. I definitely missed you guys. I miss getting on here yapping. Oh, goodness gracious. That's interesting, isn't it? That's interesting. We got a diaper surprise here. No, seriously, Ariana, you guys are like ride or dies. Absolutely. You absolutely, you have supported whatever content. It don't matter. And I love it. Thank you. Thank you for being my audience. Thank you for showing up. Literally, I can always count on like a certain number of people or like certain names. I always know they are going to show up and they're going to be there. Oh, goodness gracious. Sorry. Diaper surprise, okay? Ah, whatever content, absolutely. Okay. Clean? Well, all clean. All right. Yeah. All clean? Say all clean. Write that down for the content. I love it. We love a yap. Love a yap. Oh, stop. Stop. And that's exactly what I be doing now. Just like, I'm just going to get on here and yap. Because I just, trying to niche down and talk about one thing. It's so boring. It's so boring. I can't do it. I can't do it. Cannot do it. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. We all done. We all clean. Yes, they're all clean. Uncombed hair. Just. Oh. Mama, you're fine. You are fine, I promise. These girls could be in my arms all day. And as soon as I set them down, they act like the whole world is ending. And I'm like, I just held you for 5 hours. Go sit down somewhere, please. Oh. Crazy. Okay, I think that is my rant on social media and my viewpoints there right now. Let me go back to my list and see what's next. Okay. Oh, I already talked about birthdays and parties. So that's done. Okay. So I have started leading worship again at church. You guys are fine. Is it now? Do we need bottles? Okay, I think we need to get bottles, huh? Yes. Is it nap time? Okay, it's about nap time. So let's. Okay, mommy gonna go get you bottles, okay? Yes, I'm gonna go get you bottles. Okay. Okay. Hold that thought. I'll be right back. Oh. All right, so I have started leading worship again. And I started, I guess, consistently back leading worship in, what was it, April, I guess? Right around the time of whenever the tornadoes came through St. Louis. And I've had to lead worship through the pandemic, through some like very tragic things that have happened like with our church family. And it is very difficult trying to lead worship when your congregation is hurting. Because everybody does not have the discipline to worship in spite of. You know, like as worshipers, as worship leaders, we are, I don't know how you would say it. If you would say trained, conditioned, I don't know what you'd say. But we have learned, I guess, how to worship in spite of whatever's going on in our life. Things could be like the worst of our life, and we still know how to come and sing to the Lord. We still know how to lift our hands. We still know how to sing. You know what I'm saying? Like, we still know how to do those things, but everybody, the average congregant, does not. And so it is very difficult trying to lead people into worship. And so I've had to, I've experienced that over the last couple of years with all the tragedy that's been going on. So one of the things that I have come to realize as worship leaders is that there are a lot of times that we have to be the example for what it looks like to worship in spite of and what it sounds like to worship in spite of. Give me just a second. Okay. All right, just laid the twins down with a bottle. So hopefully this gives me a good good hour to yap uninterrupted. We'll see. But anyways, yeah, so having to be that example for them. And sometimes having to worship on their behalf too. Because some people literally are just so weighed down with life. They are so weighed down with questions, so weighed down with emotions, that they literally just don't have the strength to do it themselves, And that's when we have to, as worship leaders, be intercessors for, on their behalf, and go to the Lord on their behalf and pretty much say, God, our people don't have the strength. So on their behalf, I'm coming to you and I'm bringing to you them. So touch them, carry them. Yes, I am. Do it for them. You know what I'm saying? And which is biblical because, and y'all already know, I can reference a scripture all day. Where exactly it is, I can't tell you. Quote it word for word, I can't tell you. But I can reference it all day. But it definitely is in the Old Testament. And it is, where God was giving the law to Moses about how high priests should be conducting themselves in the temple and what is, required of them and expected of them. And this is around where they were talking about like the Day of Atonement. And so there is, the Day of Atonement it was the one day a year that the high priest would go into the holies of holies and would make a sacrifice on behalf of the entire nation of Israel. And basically, that high priest was having to go before the Lord as an intercessor, because everybody couldn't go into the holies of holies because everybody didn't have that type of clearance. You know what I'm saying? So and so that's what we kind of have to do as worship leaders as at times, is everybody can't go into the holies of holies. Everybody just does not have the strength to do it. They don't have the words. They don't have the language. They just ain't got it. And so that's when we have to go before the Lord on behalf of them. You know what I'm saying? I hope I'm making sense. But that's one thing that I've learned since being back in worship leading. The other thing that I've learned too is that this is why our language as worship leaders is so important. This is why, as worship leaders, we can't just get up there and just say anything that comes to our mind. This is why we cannot just get up there and be beating people up. And, yes, exactly, Michela. That's the exact book that I'm talking about. Yes, absolutely. Hi, baby.
What doing?
I'm on the live and folding clothes.
Hi, Chris.
Okay, thank you. No. I'm taking them out.
Take it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay. Yeah, but this is why, like they said, hey, Miss Michela said, hey, handsome.
Hi.
So yeah, but this is why we cannot be so and be beating people up during worship, and you need to stand up, you need to do this, da 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 da.
Huh?
Like, some of these people literally, they don't have the strength, they don't have the words, like they ain't got it. They are so beat down and broken by just life, and like they just like they don't need you to be beating them up. They already done got beat up enough, and that's the time that you just have to go to the Lord on their behalf. Now, while we wish that everybody, could just push through and worship in spite of, like we do as worship leaders, we wish that, but everybody just ain't got it like that. And so we just have to be more mindful of what we're doing as worship leaders, so I hope that makes sense. But that's something that the Lord just kind of just helped me to process through. Y'all don't want to praise him, right? And it's not that they don't want to. It's and it's not that, like they do, they wish they could, but they literally, they just ain't got it. They ain't got it. They tired. They are so beat down and worn out. Who was I talking to? That's what it was. I was talking to somebody before. Hey, the athlete. I was talking to somebody before service, and this was right before I had to lead worship. And I was like, hey, how you doing? And she said, oh, Kristen, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there, Kristen.
Yeah, I did it.
Good job. So I was talking to her before service, and I was like, hey, how you doing? And she was like, you want me to be honest? And I was like, yeah. She said, I'm depleted. That's what she said to me. She said, I am depleted. And my heart just kind of sank a little bit. But it's like, that's real. Like, being depleted, but she still showed up to church. She still showed up, and she was serving. She was, doing whatever her task is on a Sunday morning. She was still doing that, but she was depleted. And I'm like, God, how am I supposed to lead worship?
Wow.
Like now, or with her, knowing that she's depleted. Like, I could not in good conscience get up there and start fussing about them not praising and raising their hand when I know somebody in the church is depleted. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not that. No, that would have been so insensitive. So you know what I did in my exhortation? I said, instead of, telling them to clap their hands and all this other kind of stuff, my exhortation was, solely to the Lord. And it was just a prayer to say, Lord, we are tired, we are depleted, but we're here. And we give you what we have. What little energy we give you. Because this is it. This is all we have. And I don't think that I think whatever we can give to the Lord,
I got it.
you know, like when we're tired and depleted and all that kind of stuff, like I think that when we give him what we have, I think he's pleased with that. You know what I'm saying? Like as long as it is our best, I think he's pleased with that, you know? And sometimes, you know, like in some seasons, we may not be able to give like the most. You know what I'm saying? Like we may not be able to give a lot. But give him what you have. And then when things turn around in the next season, when you are able to give him a lot, give it. Give your best in every season, I guess. No matter if it's small, if it's big, give him your absolute best. But again, as worship leaders, we have to be sensitive to just the life that people are carrying when they walk into the building. We have to be more sensitive to that. And you know, I think there has to be some sort of, you know, teaching and some sort of space to say, like, you know, your praise may not look like somebody else's. You know, your energy may not look like somebody else's. It may not be the best, may not be the highest, but whatever you have, give that to the Lord. Give it to him. Little becomes much in his hands. Give him what you have, you know. Which is so contradictory to how we usually, you know, act within the Black church. You know, if somebody is not up screaming and hollering and running around, you know, then we want to beat them up. Don't do that to people. Just don't. So anyways, because then, even then, like, you manipulate people into this outward expression just so you're pleased. Just so you know, feel like you're actually doing something. When in actuality, the praise and the worship is not for us. The praise and the worship is for and to God. And he's looking at the heart more than he's looking at this outward expression. So if their heart's not in it, right, if their heart's not in it, then it's not reaching the Lord. It's not pleasing him. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, no, I'm just, yeah. I hope that makes sense. But anyways, okay. On the practical side of leading worship, I am really struggling trying to balance it all. Trying to, you know, make rehearsals and Carter, get your feet down. Like trying to make rehearsals and learn songs and, you know, study them so that I can teach and correct parts and things like that. Like I am just not, I just don't have time in my days to, you know, to really prepare like I used to. So I'm doing my best, trying to find my rhythm. Between picking Avery up from school and trying to make sure that we eat and then get to rehearsal on time, like that's a really, really quick turnaround. So it's like pick Avery up from school, come home, make sure she gets a bath and changed and everything, and then eat dinner, and then head out the door to be on time for rehearsal. Like that's a 2.5 hour turnaround time. That's a lot to do in 2.5 hours. A lot to do in 2.5 hours with 4 children. What? Yeah, that's crazy. So a lot of times I feel like, you know, like I'm underprepared walking into rehearsals. And I just like, I don't like feeling that way. I do not like feeling that way, but I'm doing the best that I can. And that's all that I can do is just do my best. And yeah, just go with the Lord. Just go with the Lord. That's all I can do. So, So that's where we are on leading worship again. So, okay. Okay. So let's talk about what's been going on in Black church world. Okay. Remember I said I had an opinion. I just have not been talking about my opinion because social media has been so loud. But I think things have died down a little bit to where I can say what I want to say without, I don't know. But anyways, the Isaac Caree interview with that guy that was talking about like nobody's listening to like gospel music or something, that whole thing. Now, let me preface this by saying I did not listen to the whole interview. I did not have the mental space to do it. So no, I did not listen to the whole thing. And my issue is not even with him. Like, I'm not even coming at the guy. My issue is just with the whole topic in general about like just gospel music, worship music. You know, is it dead? Is it still alive? Is it boring? You know, CCM versus gospel, just that whole thing. So here is my take on that conversation or on those topics. Number one, there are a lot of things in the body of Christ that are very black and white. Like, you either saved or you not. You know, you either believe or you don't. You either going to heaven or you not. Like, very black and white. But when it comes to music as an expression of worship, it is not black and white. It's very both and. Okay? And I say that because there is no way that you can tell me that there is only one genre of music that pleases the Lord. There's no way. There's no way that you can tell me that there's only one people group that pleases the Lord with their worship through music and instrumentation. There is no way you can tell me that. No way. Right. No way you can say that to me. So, this whole debate on CCM versus gospel music, you know, what is more powerful? What is blah, 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 blah. It's literally personal preference on what speaks to you. But God is not only responding to just one type. He's just not. He's just not. I think about like Revelation and how the writer was talking about, you know, how like the angels were around the throne and they were singing. Nobody knows what that sounds like. No, nobody knows what that sounds like. Only he knows what that sounds like. But all he was able to write down and capture were the words that they were singing. But we don't know what that sounds like. And so I say that just to say, there's no way for us, again, to say that this one particular sound or instrumentation is the only thing that pleases the heart of God. We just can't say that. We just can't say that. So at the end of the day, I'm over the conversation of CCM versus gospel. Over it. Because it's petty and it doesn't make any sense. And it does not matter if, well, it doesn't matter, you know, if you believe that gospel music is the only way to reach God, Because if your heart ain't right anyways, he not listening. Like, God is not receiving that anyways. If your heart's not right in whatever you're trying to offer up to him, it doesn't matter. He's not receiving it anyways. And I think that, like well, I don't want to say but there are people who have made an idol out of, like the expression of worship through gospel music or even through CCM. Like they've idolized it and they've made that expression more important than God. And so while you're down here arguing till you're blue in the face about what pleases him and what's true worship, he's not receiving none of it because you have made the expression of worship more important than actual worship to him. So he not listening to none of that. So you just down here arguing for no reason. Just down here arguing for no reason. Crazy. So, yeah. Similarly, I had done a TikTok where I was and it was funny. It was supposed to be funny, where I was talking about the problem with gospel music and why gospel music ain't what it used to be. And I said that gospel music ain't what it used to be because ain't nobody don't nobody tell no stories no more during their live recordings. Because, back in the day, like the artists used to tell some stories. Okay, they used to be like, break the music. And you got this big dramatic break. And then they start telling their story. And then it builds up and they go back into the song, right? So I just made a funny comment like, that's why gospel music ain't what it used to be because ain't nobody telling stories, right? Somebody commented on my TikTok and was just like, yeah, and where the choir's at? Where the choir's at? Ain't nobody said nothing about no choir. I was just laughing about telling the stories. Right, like Shirley Caesar, shouting John. Hello? Harvey Watkins, right? Singing in the heavenly choir. Okay, thank you. Okay, they told stories. But but that's what that person commented. The mule story. But yes, like somebody commented about the choir, and I'm just like, this old tired argument. Like, please leave us alone. We do not. Ain't nobody worried about no choir. And the reason why I say ain't nobody worried about no choir, because there are plenty of choirs out here. Like, stop it. Stop talking about bring the choir back. The choir didn't go nowhere. The choir has been here. There are plenty of choirs. Stop it. Like, people just repeating what they've, seen other people talk about on social media. Because if you got any sense, if you have been paying attention, choirs didn't go anywhere. There are still plenty of choirs. And the people who are just like, oh, I'm tired of seeing the praise team. You know why you tired of seeing the praise team? No. Because you don't physically go to church to see the choir. That's the problem. Y'all online members go to these online churches that just stream, and the churches that you click on, that's all they have is a praise team. How about you scroll on and find another church that has a choir? Huh? Or how about you get your tail up and you go physically to a church that has a choir? How about that? That's what I'm convinced. I'm convinced the people who are hollering about bring the choir back, you don't actually go to church. Because if you actually went to church, then you would see that there are plenty of choirs. If you actually scrolled on, you would see that plenty of churches have a choir. Right, be a part of the choir, because that's the problem too. Y'all like, where the choir at? Baby, the choir members is at home. They not coming. We would love to have a choir, but you can't have a choir without members if they don't come. What do you expect us to do? Like, we're trying. They not coming. So what? another church, you know, and then turn the lights back on. I'm sick of this. Okay, then stop attending and go find you a church that have the lights on and then have you a choir, because it's plenty out here. That sounds like a personal problem. You know what I'm saying? Just get on my nerves. Play your Mississippi Mass, period. Because Ricky Dillard still releasing music. Vincent Bohannon and SOV still releasing music. There are plenty of choirs that is out here and very active. Get on my nerves. The choir members is the praise team. Say it again, Miss Shayla. Say it again. Because that's the truth.
Clock.
Yeah, it's the clock.
Yeah. Oh, good morning.
Good morning, yes. Right. Because that's part of the problem, too. It's like, well, where the choir at? The choir is the praise team.
Yeah.
Plus 2 other people. That's the choir. The praise team is, we are tired, okay?
Again.
Like there is, like, just, Carter, move, kid. It's the faithful few, right? That's exactly right. And we just, like, we tired. We tired, okay? And we're doing our best to keep the music ministry afloat, but it's just, it's rough out here. It is rough out here. So that's another conversation that I'm just like, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of hearing and having. And I just want the social media warriors and keyboard, ninjas to stop, please. To just, like, go get a life. Like, seriously, go get a life. And find a new argument, because it's like, we're tired. It is played out. It's over. It is so over. So yeah, because look, the lights be there more than the other people, huh? The lights is more consistent than the other people, huh? Okay. Turn the lights down low. Let me snot and roll in peace. Right. And that's the thing too. Let's talk about the lights thing. So, okay, and here's the larger issue, is that you have a lot of churches, and I am going to say, well, okay. You have a lot of churches, a lot of Black churches, who have implemented elements of worship that we see our other counterparts doing without understanding why we implement them. So why do we turn the lights down low? Why do we see other churches doing that? They do that because they don't want anyone to be distracted by what's going on around them. They want people to worship and feel safe in worshiping. So they turn the lights down low so you can't see Sister So-and-so across the sanctuary snotting and rolling. That's why, because they don't want you to be distracted by what's going on over there. They want you to focus on the songs that are being sung or on the ministry that's taking place in front of you. They don't want you to be distracted. That's why we have seen them turn the lights down and turn it off during worship. But when you implement those things and you don't know why it's being implemented, you just do it. That's where you get a lot of the pushback. That's where you get a lot of the argument, because you don't know why you're doing it, which is the same thing. And I know I argue that, or I don't want to say I argue that, but that's something I talk about when I do like the worship conferences. I mention and I talk about like the purpose of praise and worship and why we have praise teams and things like that. There's so much pushback and so much, I'm sick of the praise team, I'm tired of the praise team from us. We say stuff like that because things were just implemented and we didn't know why. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why there's so much between choir and praise team, because we implemented a praise team and did not talk about what's the purpose of the praise team. Why are we doing praise and worship music and not just choir music all throughout the service? Why? What is the purpose of it? Nobody really did any teaching or talking about it. And so because nobody really knew, it started an argument. And so if we were more educated in why we do certain things in praise and worship and all that kind of stuff, I think it would alleviate a lot of these arguments that are just petty and unnecessary if we had some sort of teaching on it. Some have even cut the altar call to keep it private. You know, like everybody don't want to be at the front of the church rolling around. You know, everybody don't want to do that. Some people do, you know, want that to be a more private, intimate, like you said, Kristen, a more private, intimate thing. You know, so it's just, at the end of the day, whatever type of church you need, you can find it out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want a church where they keep the lights on, you can find it. If you want a church where they only have a choir, you can find it. If you want a church where they turn the lights off, you can find it. If you want a church where, hey, stop kicking that wall. If you want a church where they have a praise team, you can find it. There is nobody holding you hostage at this one particular church. If it's not meeting your needs, then go find another one. There are so many out here. Go find another one, because it's there. It is totally there for you. So, oh, thank you, Miss Shayla. Girl, I feel like, am I even making sense? And I'm like, I'm really not trying to be, you know, like combative and I'm really not. But it's just like, these are the things I be thinking when I be thinking on social media, you know? Like all these arguments, y'all, it's so petty. It's so petty and it don't make no sense. And some people literally just get on social media and say controversial stuff just for the engagement, just to get their money up, you know, because the more engagement, the more comments, the more shares, the more money you get. So they get on there and they say stuff that get the saints riled up every few months. You know? Oh, good, Ariana. I'm glad. But like every few months, like these topics like come up. And it's just like, and people fall for it every time. And it's, people fall for it every single time. Gets on my nerves. Totally gets on my nerves. You know something else that got on my nerves? Which this kind of goes with what we're talking about. But like there's this one particular person I follow on Facebook. And I only am following this person just because of family relationship. But I'm about to take Ariana's spirit and be like, I'm about to block you. I don't care if you're close relationship or not. You're about to get blocked. But anyways, but this person has been very vocal about, you know, choir or gospel music better than CCM. Like they've been very, very vocal about it. Cool. That's your preference. That's what you believe. Great. But then this same person shared a video by Jordan G. Welch. And it was her song where she tags, she tags Jireh by Maverick City. And it's the one where she's like, if he dresses the lilies, how much more does he love you? How much more does he love you? Right. And she just keeps tagging that and they just kind of flow in that. Right. And that's become like very popular. Like one of her popular songs. Right. Now, mind you, that's Maverick City. That's CCM. But Jordan has just taken that song. She's added harmonies. She's, rearranged it musically, vocally. She's ministering it in a way that like gospel, like a gospel singer, like would minister and sing the song, right? Keep that in mind. Now, the same person who has been talking about how gospel music is so much better than CCM shares that video and it's like, oh my gosh, I love this. This is what I'm talking about. Are you the same person that has been saying that gospel music is so much better than CCM, but you love this? This is CCM. Like, do you not realize? This is CCM. At its core, its original, it is CCM. Like, what are we talking about right now? So it's just like, again, ignorant conversations. And it's just like, you can do this. And that's another issue that I have when it comes to gospel music and CCM. And, you know, when people are like, oh, CCM is boring. CCM is that. CCM, blah, blah, blah. It's only boring if you want it to be, you know? But like, as a gospel, in the Black church, we are some of the most creative, musically intelligent, absolute geniuses when it comes to music. The way that Black church can remix and revamp a song, hey Reiko! The way that we can revamp and remix a song is second to none. So if you don't like a CCM song, fix it, revamp it, rework it, sing it, do whatever. You know, like that's what you can do. There's no need to be out here hollering about boring CCM music when you have the ability to change it and make it your own. William Murphy, Everlasting God. Y'all, that's not his song. That is a CCM song. He didn't write that. He just revamped it and rearranged it to where it would be more palatable for the Black church. And the Black church loves it. Break Every Chain, Tasha Cobbs. That is not her song. That is a CCM song that she took and revamped it and reworked it to make it more palatable for the Black church. The anthem, Hallelujah, we did not write that. That is a CCM song that they took and they made it gospel, and now we love it. How great is our God? We did not sing that. That is a CCM song that we took. King of Glory, that is not our song. Water you turned into wine, that is not our song. Do you guys see what I'm saying here? Like most of the songs that we sing that we're like, that's gospel, that's not us. That is not our song. That is CCM that we've taken and we have revamped to make it our own. And so all I'm saying is that CCM is not boring. CCM is simple. I'm not going to deny that CCM is simple, but that simplicity of it leaves so much room for us to be creative and expressive how we are. You know what I'm saying? I think Michelle had mentioned it, like the lyrics. And again, and I'm not saying that gospel music doesn't have good lyrics. They absolutely do. But all I'm saying is that CCM, they have some bomb tags, some bomb choruses, like Break Every Chain. There is power in the name of Jesus. In the original song, that's the chorus. There's verses to that in the original song, but Tasha Cobbs just took the chorus of that song and she created a whole other song from just the chorus. So my point is, again, CCM, it is very simple, but you can take those pieces and you can make them your own to where they're more palatable within the Black church worship space. But these are the conversations that a lot of people on social media don't want to have and are not having because they just want to get their, their rocks off and just want to beat their chest. Like, it's just, it's so, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And I'm sick of the conversation. I'm so sick of the conversation because it's just, it's ignorance. It's ignorance. And a lot of people, they just be on there talking and really don't know what they be talking about. But anyways, okay. Learned all of these in predominantly white Christian, private school. Went to Black church in the evenings for gospel music, but connected with the CCM music more than anything. Okay, yeah. I don't care if it's CCM or gospel music. I'm still have a Baptist fit. All the workshops begin. Yeah, let the workshops begin again, Lord. All I need is a memory. I don't know how we got here, but I'm glad we're here. Oh, give us. Look, Reiko, I don't know how we got here either, girl, but I'm just on here. Just yapping. Yapping, baby. Just yapping. Thank y'all for listening to my yap and my rant. I appreciate it. But, okay. So, that's all I want to say on that. We may circle back. I don't know. But let's go to the latest thing that has been going on in Black church Christendom. The mahogany video where the first lady is like, she gave me a different kind of hug, and and I'm gonna call it out. You didn't want to talk about it, and the Lord told me to clean house and blah blah blah, right? y'all that is so hurtful. Like, and I am all for accountability. I am all for correction. So don't mishear me when I'm talking about this. I am all for that. All for that. But there is a way to do things. You know what I'm saying? Timing is everything. And I saw somebody that was just like, that's a soul. And it is like that is a soul that you were responsible for as head leadership, and then to do that, to say that, obviously based on, like the reaction of, Mahogany. And I really like, I'm saying her first name, but I don't know her on a personal basis like that. So I'm really not trying to be disrespectful by calling her by her first name. I just say that I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but like just looking at Mahogany's, expression and everything, she was taken aback. Like, what? Like, why are you saying this now? You know what I'm saying? Like, we was in the back. Obviously, like, this didn't happen on the platform, this hug. We was in the back. And we could have talked about this in the back. Like, we did not, need to do that right now. But, it was, like, she's a soul. And then to, like, embarrass her like that on live, okay? So not only did you do that in front of your congregation, but now millions of people have seen that and have seen you conduct yourself in that way, speak that way to, to your congregants. Millions of people have seen that now. And that's just, tried to have the conversation, but she didn't want to talk about it. And that's the thing too. Because apparently too, not compactor. But apparently too, that Mahogany was already like offended by another interaction that had happened between her and that co-pastor. So, what exactly was the co-pastor referencing when she said she tried to have the conversation but didn't want to talk about it? Was it the hug, or was it the other offensive off the wall things that you said? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you said this in front of people, what did you say when you weren't in front of people? How off the wall and crazy were you when you weren't in front of people? I'm pretty sure it was worse. You know what I'm saying? So I admire her grace in class and the way she left the stage. Absolutely. Absolutely. And and you could tell that she was trying to process. Like the way her face was changing, she was really trying to process, like, is this really happening right now? What is going on? And it took her a minute, to get it together. It was like, okay, wait a minute. Did I just get fired? I think I just got fired. Let me go ahead and put this mic down and go. Right. And what else got me too is, okay, she's quoting the scripture, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, right? And while she's quoting it, you hear her voice get louder. You hear her tone get more aggressive as she's watching her walk out, of the sanctuary, or walk down from the stage. And it was like, you're getting really combative right now. Like, you're getting really angry right now with the fact that, she's leaving. Like, that's what you invited her to do. So are you angry because she's leaving and she's doing it quietly? Or are you feeling embarrassed because you didn't have to do it like that, and now that realization is sitting in for you? So now you're like, trying to, I guess, maybe deflect by being even more angry and and reading the scripture. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was too much. My heart hurts for this. I saw a post from a former worship leader before Mahogany, and it's been a long-standing situation of spiritual abuse of authority. Wow. The lady spoke of how it began mentally. Wow. It was a means to rebuke. Yeah. It was a means to rebuke. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you for bringing that up. Because she did, like, she quoted something about, like, open rebuke is better than secret love, right? And I've always heard that, but I've never done any research on that particular scripture. And I kept seeing people talk about how how the lady, the co-pastor, had used it out of context. And I was like, okay, let me see what they're talking about. So after my research, I found that the open rebuke, better than secret love, is referencing constructive criticism of friends. So, like, if you see that your friend is doing something that's detrimental to, like, their health, or you see them, okay, so let's take singing for example. Like, if Michaela heard me, like, struggling to hit notes, and I was getting up there embarrassing myself, I was failing every time, I'm like crying because things ain't working out right. Open rebuke would be, hey, Soraya, if you would breathe deeper, or if you would maybe change the key to the song, you would be able to reach your notes better, and your voice wouldn't crack as much, and you would you would feel maybe more confident in singing if you were to make those changes. That's open rebuke. That's what that scripture is talking about giving constructive criticism. Secret love would be, I don't want to tell her, that she should make these changes because I don't want to hurt her feelings. And because I love her and I don't want to hurt her, I want to. No. I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying for me. I said, Michaela, tell me that. Not Soraya tell Michaela that. Michaela tell me that. But I'm just saying, like, that's what I was talking about. Secret love is like, let me not tell Soraya that because I don't want to hurt Soraya's feelings. No, openly rebuke me, openly correct me, tell me what I should do to fix whatever it is so that I can execute better. That's what that's talking about, right? Not what they did up there, rather just like, well, you didn't hug me right and you didn't want to talk about it. So no, that is not what that scripture is talking about. But that's what she did. And so, people but people, were also upset with the praise team, because they were like, the praise team, should have left. They should have walked out too. But I mean, let's be honest here. That came out of left field.
I did it!
I probably would have froze too. I probably would have been like, what just happened? What do I do? I probably would have just been standing there too, trying to figure out, where do we go from here? So I don't even fault the praise team for standing there and staying, because I'm pretty sure they were confused too. They were confused. I feel like the pastor knew his wife approach was wrong, but didn't want to disagree with her in front of the congregation. You know what? That's true too. That's definitely true too. And man, how do you navigate that? How do you navigate that? Because just like in general, leadership principles is like a united front type of thing, right? Like even when you like in a marriage, and your parents and your children, it's like there are some things that like my husband has done when it comes to like discipline, our children. And I don't agree with the way that he approached it, or I don't agree with the punishment, but it's like, if I disagree with him in front of the children, then the children feel like they can, buck up against him. And it's like, no, I want to keep us as a united front. But obviously behind closed doors, like we have the conversation like, hey, that wasn't right. I don't agree with that. I think you could have handled that better. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's the same thing with being, a pastor and the first lady. It's like, do I correct her now? Do I correct her later? I just keep a united front, in front of the congregation. Like, what do I do here? But based on what I've been seeing, it kind of seems like, nah, they both on the same type of time. Like he's not going to correct her. He agreed with her, because there's another clip where he's standing up there with her now. And he's like, let's just address the elephant in the room. And then he starts reading the scripture, and he's like, even if she was wrong, God will correct her. As far as the co-pastor, God will correct her. What? Like, yes, he will. But, there's also room for each other to hold each other accountable for our actions and, things like that. So I don't know. The way the young lady wept. Okay, which lady was that? Because I saw somebody where like they hugged for a really long time. Is that the young lady that you're talking about, Kristen? Feel like he pushed her to address her openly the next time. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, I didn't see her crying. Well, you know what? I take that back. Well, no, I didn't see her crying, but when she said it's praise time, like just her tone of voice. Oh, okay, to gather herself, yeah. But just her tone of voice, the fact, and then she stepped back. Like she had stepped up, like getting ready, like she was about to leave. She was like, well, it's praise time. And then she stepped back. And I'm like, bless her heart, because she didn't know how to navigate that either. She had no idea how to navigate that. And so I'm wondering, like, was she always supposed to lead, or did she just step up to lead because Mahogany wasn't there anymore? And it was like, well, who was going to lead? So she just stepped up, to fill in that space. But she just seemed like she just seemed like she didn't know what to do either. So, I don't even fault the praise team. They were just as much victims as anybody else up there. They were. Because like that's if Mahogany is their worship leader, then that means like she's like their direct, you know, leader. You know what I'm saying? Like she's the one that they've been in rehearsals with. She's the one that, you know, they've built the camaraderie and the relationship with. Like praise teams, music ministries, we spend a lot of time together. We rehearse together, we minister together. You know, sometimes like we hang out outside of service at like different events, or we go to dinner, or, you know, things like that. Like we invite each other to, you know, different milestones for our children and, you know, things like that. So it's like, not only is that their worship leader, their direct leader as far as like hierarchy for the church, but that was probably their friend too. So watching their friend go through that, that was probably like really hard for them. And that's just, yeah. Next Sunday's live stream will be packed. I'm pretty sure it will be Ariana. Yeah. Kristen, I didn't watch it, but I heard it was There's a Storm Out on the Ocean. Like, bless it, Jesus. Bless it. Bless it. There's a storm out on the ocean. You're sure right. And it done moved through here. And the storm was called co-pastor whoever. That was the storm, okay? And it moved and it destroyed everything. They needed to just do an instruments. Listen, but let's talk about the instruments, because even the musicians, the way that organist held that note while she was talking, the organist was like, what is going on? And then even when the other girl stepped up and was like, it's praise time, it sounded like somebody unplugged something on this. So I'm like, did one of the musicians unplug something and quit too? Like, what? The whole thing, like the whole, and I feel like when God does things. Okay, go ahead. Okay, buddy. Like when God does things, we know that it's in decency and in order, right? And I feel like when the Lord, like if it really was the Lord, like the co-pastor had said, I feel as if the spirit of the room wouldn't have shifted so drastically, and that there still would have been a sweet spirit in the room. You know what I'm saying? If that was the Lord leading you to do that, I feel like the Lord would have worded your mouth and given you the right tone of voice to handle that soul. Because at the end of the day, like the Lord corrects from a place of love. He chastens those that he loves. Love is the driving factor for the correction, because he doesn't want us to just be out here wrong, you know, and just doing whatever. Like he's concerned about us from a place of love. So if the Lord was really in control of that moment and told her to do that, he would have led her to do it in a way where it would not have hurt Mahogany. You know, the spirit of the room, like I said, the spirit of the room would have been more sweet than that, to where they could have worshiped. You know what I'm saying? Following that, and you wouldn't have been awkwardly, there's a storm out over the ocean. Like, what? Like, that is not it. So just the chaos of the moment, the unrest of the moment is further proof that that wasn't of God. That was not of God. He wasn't there. He wasn't in that at all. But even though that happened, we know that all things work together for the good of them who love the Lord, right? And we know that the Bible talks about how he will make our enemies our footstool. And what does a footstool do? A footstool elevates you. A footstool helps you to reach a higher height, which is exactly what's happening for Mahogany right now. This situation, although it was painful, the Lord is using it for her good. Although this situation was embarrassing, this has become a footstool for her to reach a higher height. This has become a footstool for her for elevation. There is no telling what opportunities, is going to come from this situation. So, yeah. It's crazy. It is so crazy. But, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I have gone through some painful, hurtful things as a worship leader as well, but it has not been on a public platform like that. Ever. So, yeah, I can't even imagine. Yeah. If that happened to me, baby, what I would have done. I don't know. Some people are like, oh, I would have fought. I would have did this. I would have did that. To be honest, I don't know what I would have done. I probably would have froze and just been like, this cannot be happening. I'm pretty sure I would have got hot from embarrassment. Oh, gosh. Yeah. That would have been so bad. But that's my little 2 cents on that. That is my little 2 cents on that. So, yeah. Okay. So that's all my little list. That's all I wanted to talk about today. It has been 2 hours. 2 hours and 20 minutes that I have been on this here live. Hello. Thankfully, I done folded some clothes while I was here. So now I'm going to figure out what else I need to do around this house. So, yeah. Well, all right, y'all. If there is nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up and get on off of here. I'm working on a vlog. Good, Kristen. Look, I did too, baby. I did too. I needed to come on here and yap. Because I miss y'all. I do. I miss getting on here and yapping. Absolutely. And so thankfully, like I said, things have slowed down. All right. Things have slowed down enough to where I think I can responsibly, start incorporating lives back again, and showing up again on live. Yeah, I'm trying. I kind of talked about this a little earlier, but just to circle back, I'm trying really hard not to get discouraged in, creating content and social media and things like that. Because it's like, again, I put in, work to get better with, editing and angles and things like that. And it's just like, does anybody care? Is anybody even watching? And then it's like when people do watch and care, I'd be like, oh, wow, really? You care? You watch? And then it's like, am I oversharing? Is this too much? It's just like there's so many like inner thoughts and narratives that's just like, no, don't do this. But then it's like I really do enjoy it too. I enjoy the whole process of creating content and posting and things like that. So yeah. Okay, that was my first closing. Something else just popped to my mind. So I was looking, and so I have this pimple right here, and I just want to know, is any other 30-year-olds on here going through like a second puberty type thing? Because why is my face breaking out? Huh? Why am I cramping randomly? The mood swings. The hormonal was it inflections? Inflations. I'm just over it. I am so over it. I'm everything. Hello at 30, baby. And this is about to be a little bit too much, but the ovulation at 30. When I well, Michelle, you close. Look, round up, honey. Round up. They say it's perimenopause. What? No. It cannot be perimenopause. But yeah, okay. So, Miss Shayla, once you get to 30, the ovulation period, the ovulation week, ravenous. Lock me up, because it's so intense. It's like, what? And it's like cramping too, where you can feel like an egg releasing. It is crazy wild. It is crazy wild. And I mean, my husband, he's happy. But I'm like, this is too much. Like, I'm tired, but my body, it's like, my mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. It's that. My mind is like, you're doing too much. My body is like, it's not enough. It is way too much happening. So much. Calling the man of God and tell him to take the day off. I know you're about to walk out the door for work, but do you have 5 minutes to spare? It is wild. It is wild. Being 30 is just, ugh. It is too much going on over here, okay? Way too much. It is way too much. Because you got to work. I'm weeping. Sometimes the emotional response is that intense. I literally will call my husband and be like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm at work. I'm like, still? What time you get off again? Gosh, what? It's really crazy. It's crazy over here in 30s land. I mean, it's fun. It's cool. But over here in 30s land, it's like, this is wild. It's wild over here. So, yeah. Okay. What is this? My second or third closing? Oh. But I think I'm done. Okay. What time are we going? Right. 2 hours. What is that? Kristen, what is that? 2 hours of monies? What? What is that? What time are you going to be home? Right. Like, this is the same work schedule he works every day. I know what time he's coming home. But it's like the intensity of it just makes you lose like all like minimum. Just you can't even think straight. You're like, what day is it? I don't even know what day it is. All I know is come here. It is so much. It is so much. Oh, so basically come home early. You can take off 2 hours early. We don't need that. Come here. Come on. This is worth more. It is crazy. It is so crazy. But we thank God for marriage, okay, for the undefilement of the marital bed. We thank God because, and you know what? Okay, what was that? My third closing? Okay. But I just want to say it all makes sense as to why the Lord had me get married when I did. Because if I had to go through my 30s and go through this, oh Ariana, stop it. But if I had to go through my 30s like this and I was single, oh my gosh. Like I would have to be at the altar repenting every week. Every week. Because I don't know if I would have the discipline. I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest. I don't know if I would have the discipline to keep myself because of how intense this can be. Yeah, the Lord knew. He knew that I didn't have enough self-control. The Lord knew. The Lord knew. So I'm grateful, that the Lord had me get married when I did. We got married young, but the Lord knew. The Lord knew. And he makes all things work together. A safe space. Hello. He makes all things work together because this girl, I was not. And I've been raised in church my whole life. Okay, raised in church my whole life. I knew better. I knew, I was supposed to keep myself and all the things. I knew it. Knew all of it. And the Lord still knew his daughter. And the Lord knew that his daughter just couldn't handle it. So I wanted to be in the streets, Lord, still preserving me from marriage. And that, you know what? And I love that, Ariana. I love that. I love that. And the Lord, that just going back to the Lord knows. The Lord knows. And I pray that he gives you strength. I really do. Because I have another friend and I called her one day and I was just like, you are strong. You are an amazingly strong person. I said, because I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Just the discipline. And I'm just like, and the way that the Lord trusts you to be disciplined, in that and not giving yourself, excuse me, giving yourself to the streets. Like that, I feel like the Lord trusts you. And I think that is so beautiful to have. Because he didn't trust me. The Lord did not trust me. So that's why I had to get married when I did. But he trusts you. And I think that that's beautiful. I really do. He's the God of second chances. Hello. And he is. And he is. Running rampant in the church. Because you couldn't do the street dudes. It takes a lot of focus on God and purpose. Yeah. Baby. And I would have got distracted. I would not have been able to focus. I would have got distracted. Ooh, the Lord knows. The Lord absolutely knows. So I'm grateful that the Lord knows. And I'm definitely praying for the strength of those who do not, that are going through your 30s and you are not married. My prayers are with you. Girl, the streets ain't. I tried the streets. So when I was in college, I dated around, or I dated a couple guys, and some of them were church boys, and some of them were not. And just the ones that was out in the street, baby, awful, just no. Don't make no sense. And then look, and even some of the ones in the church is awful too. Just what is this? What? I don't know. Absolutely remedial. Sorry. Yeah. Absolutely remedial. So, anyways. Let's see. Just okay, so speaking about dating, so you guys know the holy harlots one. Pee on the sidewalk. Y'all are crazy. So y'all know Breezy Bowl. right? Just happened. Well, in St. Louis it did. And I was talking about it, and I was just like, I honestly, like, I would have liked to have gone, but I have 4 children. Ain't nobody doing that. So, and the only reason why I would have liked to have gone is because when I was growing up, like, you couldn't tell me that Chris Brown wasn't going to be my husband. Okay? He was going to be my husband. He could sing, he could dance, he was light skinned, he had that nice little lineup, like that fade with the waves. Oh, the earrings, the hat cocked to the side. Oh, woo! He was going to be my husband, right? And so that was my type when I, was dating and everything. And that's the type of person I thought I was going to marry. But when I tell you that I did end up dating a guy who kind of looked like Chris Brown, he didn't exactly look like him, but light skin, deep, like the waves, the lineup, the earrings. I mean, he was cute, right? But when I tell you that was the absolute worst dating experience of my life. The absolute worst dating experience of my life. I mean, just awful. Just awful. And so I say that just to say, like, the Lord knows. The Lord knows exactly what you need when you need it. And you just follow the Lord. Follow the Lord. And what the Lord gives you, may not look like what you've always thought it, like it was going to be, or who you thought your spouse was going to be. But the Lord knows, and follow the leading of the Lord and trust the Lord. Absolutely. Because my husband looks nothing like Chris Brown. Nothing like Chris Brown. But he is absolutely the one for me. And if I would have stayed with the Chris Brown lookalike, and just because that's who I always pictured I would be with, I would be so unhappy. I already know. I would be so unhappy with him because he was awful. But he looked the part, but he was absolutely awful. So, yeah, no. The Lord knows. The Lord knows. Trust the leading of the Lord. Them CB types are absolute trash. Pretty boy syndrome is horrible. It really is. Because this man wanted to be, I remember having a conversation about, like end goals and, what was our, career goals and everything. And he was like, well, I want to be a model. And I was like, okay. And I knew then, I was like, this ain't gonna go nowhere. So I was like, okay, so like, what are you doing to pursue that? And he was like, well, nothing really right now. He's like, but I drive, to this city, and I do like some headshots. Like I got some headshots done. And I was like, that's it? Like, do you have like an agency that you're working through? Like, how are you getting booked? Do you have a portfolio? Like, he's like, no. So how exactly are you going to be a model? You're not doing anything to be a model. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Please. Absolutely not. Yeah, no. I was like, all right, well, that's it for that. Because you're just awful. Absolutely awful. So anyways, okay. I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Anything else y'all want to talk about? I would close that chapter the same day, right? Because that is not a plan. That is not a life plan. I got a couple headshots, and his face wasn't even clear. Like, you ain't even taking care of your skin. How are you gonna be a model? Skincare routine, just crazy. Just crazy. Oh, Okay, announcements and observations. Very good. Meanwhile, I've like been trying different drinks from Seven Brew. But my husband said that I couldn't post it until Seven Brew started paying us, and Seven Brew don't be paying me no attention. So I just got the videos in my phone, and just haven't been posting them at all. So yeah, there's that. Green teas, Disney. I'm going in December. Oh, you're going in December too? Nice. So the weather in December, girl, I was actually thinking about that today. What am I going to pack when I go to Disney? But honestly, when I first started going to Disney back in 2016, it used to be hot. Like 70s, maybe even low 80s some days when we would go back in 2016. But in recent years, it's actually gotten kind of cold. Excuse me. So the highest will be maybe mid 70s, but the lowest is like mid to high 50s. So last year, I did a lot of all my outfits were leggings and long sleeve shirts, and I was comfortable with that. It transitioned well. You know, it wasn't too, it wasn't too thin to where I felt like too cold. But then it also wasn't too thick to where I felt like too hot, you know, as the day went on. So yeah, so that's what I had. And tennis shoes. You know, that's just what I had every day, because in Disney you do a lot of walking. It doesn't matter if you're in a park or if you are at downtown Disney sightseeing. I mean, whatever you do a lot of walking. So comfortable shoes, and yeah, that's what I had. And of course, you know, a little light jacket, because it may rain. So maybe a little, rain jacket would be good to take with you. But yeah, but that's usually what I take and how the weather's been lately. I'd say over recent years, I've definitely like simplified my my Disney wardrobe, because I'm just like, I ain't got time to be dressing cute and stuff. Like, I'm trying to get out and I'm trying to live. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to experience. And I'm not spending a whole lot of time like on clothes and outfits and stuff. Like, I want to go have fun. I'm gonna be cute, you know, I ain't gonna look crazy, but I want to go and have fun. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'm wanting to do multiple parks this time, so trying to secure the military discount for these tickets. Yeah. With the military discount, I will say, depending on when you go, sometimes, especially around the holidays, they have blackout periods where you cannot apply any discounts. So as long as you don't go, you know, through those blackout periods, yeah, you should be good. You should be good to use that discount. Yep. Use them all, right? Use them all. We are actually going to stay at a Polynesian resort this year, which is our home resort. So, super excited about that. We've stayed at Animal Kingdom for the past couple of years. So, I'm kind of sad that we won't be at Animal Kingdom, because I loved Animal Kingdom. Oh, I absolutely love it. Waking up and seeing zebras and giraffes outside your window, and the way that they have like positioned Animal Kingdom, and the way they've like done the landscaping of it, it really does look like when the sun is rising, it really looks like you're on like the savannah, like in Africa. It really does. It is beautiful. Like the sun is like that deep orange red, and it's like rising like just above the trees. It's it's amazing. But we're at Polynesian this year, not Animal Kingdom, so it'll be good though. Okay, Kristen, bye. Love you. Wait a minute. You're going to be there the same week of Christmas? Okay, we are too. So if you would like to, we can definitely like meet up and hang out if you want to. I'm not trying to impose on your vacation and your plans, but that's the same week we're going. So if you want to hang out, just let me know, because we could meet up, have a little girls' night in Disney Springs. You just let me know. You just let me know. Okay. All right. You just let me know. All right. Okay. For real this time. I think. Yeah, it's 1:58. Yeah. I'm about to wrap up these household chores and then get ready to go to pack the rest of the kids up so we can go sit in the line to get Avery after school. So I think that's it, y'all. Thank you so much for yapping with me. I appreciate the yap. It was good being back. And we will see if I can potentially, start incorporating lives again into this whole social media content plan. I don't know how, but we're going to get there. So anyways, I love y'all, and I will see you guys next time, whenever that is. Bye.